fire, 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 fire.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 10th episode of F.I.R.E. Today we're going to be making something versatile, something that is a staple that you should know when anyone cooks really. And I felt like I got kind of bored when I ate some meals. Like sometimes when you meal prep and you eat the same thing, for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even lunch, every day for 4 days, and you kind of get sick of it. I wanted to make something that could actually transform into another meal. So in this case, making a sauce that could obviously transform from pasta to baked eggs or to make a meatball sub. Just a simple sauce, yeah. So you don't get bored with it, and it just keeps things exciting. So I actually have used this method of making a meatball pasta for quite some time now. I think I read it somewhere or I watched a video on it, and I thought it was just a really cool hack that you can use. And sometimes it works out to be cheaper than actually making meatballs. It could taste better as well, and if it's on sale, like hell yeah, you get to save some money, save some time as well, and like it's all seasoned and everything. So what you do is you just get the sausages that you bought, and you just take the meat out of its casing. I think it's called casing or whatever it is. Yeah, I mean this is kind of like a nasty ass process. I mean you can wear gloves, but who really cares? You're gonna be the one eating it anyway. And anyway, next thing you want to heat up some cooking oil. Or I'm using olive oil. I actually always use olive oil because I just like the flavor that it gives. And once that is heated up, I put in some garlic to obviously get a bit of flavor into it, and then chuck in all the meatballs and cook it to have you kind of want to get the a bit of color in it, and just to cook it a bit. It doesn't have to be fully cooked because it's going to be cooked in the sauce later on anyway, and that would make sure that it would be cooked. So next thing you do is I actually forgot to film it, or something happened in this process, but I got 2 cans of whole peeled tomatoes, put it into a bowl. Well, in this step, whatever is left in the can, I leave it there, and then I put in a beef stock cube, and then I'm just crushing it up. And then you want to keep the lid on it as well, because when you pour in the boiling hot water, you don't really want to hold the can because it's most definitely going to burn you. Anyway, you put that aside, let the stock cube kind of dissolve and let it do its thing for now. And you want to crush up the tomatoes to however you like it. You can have it super smooth. I like it a bit chunky. I like a bit of texture in the sauce. So with that pot that you had with the oil and the fat that was cooked down from the meatballs, you want to put in chopped onions, some garlic as well, and you want to cook that until it's they say it's flagrant, or until the onion is transparent or opaque. Anyway, then next what I do is I chop up olives and put it in as well. It's just I'd say not natural. Well, it is kind of natural, but it just adds flavor and some different levels to the sauce. I love olives. Some sugar, and a tablespoon of tomato paste. And I put in some basil leaves as well, because obviously I don't think it really does anything, but I put it in anyway. And you also pour in the beef stock and then the tomatoes. And you gotta make sure you bring it up to a simmer. So I tore up some more basil leaves, and it just adds more depth to it. But you can't take my word for that. It's just something that I've always done, and I feel like I haven't really realized why. I mean, it definitely does something. It definitely adds flavor or something to it. But yeah. So you want to bring that to a simmer, and then cover it and let it develop for the next 30-40 minutes until you think it's ready. I threw in some butter as well, just to make it a bit more creamy. After it's reached actually, I don't know, maybe after 20 minutes, I'd say, then you put in your meatballs. In this case, I put in some dried parsley as well, just to finish it up. And you kind of just cook that down, let it simmer as well without a lid for, I'd say, another 10-15 minutes, just to make sure the meatballs are cooked as well. So this is the first dish that I'm making. So it's just basic meatball, pasta meatballs pretty much, with some penne. And then you just chuck it all on, and of course you're gonna have to add fresh Parmesan cheese, because it's just so much better when it's freshly grated. And of course basil leaves, as we all need. And you're gonna make sure it's flipped on the right side. And there it is. That's the first dish that you can make from this sauce. As for the second dish, this is more of a lunch. It might be a bit too heavy for breakfast, but I guess you can eat it for breakfast. This is baked eggs with using the sauce that you had used, but you obviously don't want the meatballs. You just want the sauce. So what you do is you put in some butter and some cumin, and it actually smells so good when the cumin has been toasted up. It's just an authentic thing for baked eggs or shakshuka. You also want to add in the garlic as well, and it becomes so fragrant. Like it smells pretty good, and it's just butter and cumin. Like it's really nothing yet. And once that's been nicely toasted up, nicely heated up, you put in the sauce mixture as well, from what you made from the night before, and you just heat it up until it's pretty much like how you're just re-cooking it or reheating it with some extra flavor as well. And once that's up to temperature, you just want to crack an egg right in the middle. That's how it's usually done. And about halfway, you want to add in some fresh vegetables. In this case, I'm just adding some tomatoes, which is a fruit, so not vegetables. Anyway, put in some, because you want something fresh as well, because it's just so it's potentially very heavy for breakfast. And well, I'm making this for lunch, because anyway, you put in your cheese. I'm using obviously the mozzarella cheese, but you can really use any kind of cheese. You don't even have to put cheese in it. I also threw in some more chili flakes, and of course basil leaves as well, just to give it some color as well. And that's really all it is. And this only takes like about 10-15 minutes. And with the egg here, I took it a bit too far. I feel like if I did the egg last, it would have been a lot better. So I kind of regret doing that. And I do like my egg a bit more runny. And yeah, you gotta really try it. So for the third one, this is more of a snack or a small sandwich, maybe just before dinner or breakfast or lunch. Like you can seriously eat it whenever. It's just nice and quick. All you have to do is just get the meatballs with a bit of sauce. You don't want too much sauce, and you just heat it up with some jalapenos and olives, and of course mozzarella cheese. You gotta have mozzarella cheese, and just let that all come together. And that's pretty much all that is. Like you're pretty much just using the sauce and adding a bit more heat to it, fire wise and spice wise, and that's it. Yeah. And then you get, well, in my case I had pita bread, so obviously I'm gonna just fill it up and make a little pita pizza pocket. And put in some vegetables and stuff in those meatballs with jalapenos, olives, and mozzarella cheese, and there you have it. Like, that's so simple.